So in the early stages, when you first put your post out there, you can hire through Fiverr, you can hire through Upwork, but you're gonna go through a ton of different applicants in order to get to the right person, right? Many people might operate to a certain capacity, they might say the right words, but at the end of the day, the skill set and the follow through with tasks is not there. So the first hire is the most important in the entire process of building your virtual back end of your business. All right, so we are about to gear up and conduct a couple interviews with some new virtual assistants to join our team. With us coming into the busiest time of the year, approaching summertime, floodgates are opening and it's time for us to really gear up the engines. Our team lead, Alex, shortlists a bunch of virtual assistants that he in turn can line up, make sure they have the proper equipment, the proper internet setup, and they have the skills and experience to line up with what we're looking for. So again, real estate is seasonal and situational, and the goal here is to interview as many candidates as possible so that we can find the right fit for our business. Now, there is a pretty intricate process that we like to go through, which I'll go in greater detail after the interview is over. Hey, Gisela, how's it going?
Hi, doing good.
Awesome. Gisela, where are you calling out of?
I'm sorry, what's the question again?
I said, where are you calling out of? Where are you located?
Oh, I'm from Philippines.
Awesome. What part?
From Bicol, if you come to heard Mount Mayon.
Awesome. We want to schedule a vacation out there. I heard there's tons of islands, tons of Filipino islands. Alex is going to be our tour guide.
Absolutely, boss.
Awesome. All right. Well, Gisela, I want you to sell yourself to me. Why do you think you're a good fit for our company?
Well, I actually have over 3 years of experience working in the BPO industry, 1 year and 7 months for a travel company, and also more than 1 year for a telco account, which is AT&T, wherein the most frustrated customers are calling for. So actually within just 6 months of staying with AT&T, I was promoted as a subject matter expert, wherein I have been handling and assisting trainees during their first and second week of taking in live calls. Wow,
that's really impressive. What is your favorite part of the BPO industry?
They could pay me well, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then there's no discrimination since I'm an undergrad, accountancy undergrad, so I was given opportunity to at least get paid higher than the usual pay that most of the Filipino people are receiving.
Yeah, that's super. One thing I've realized, as crazy as it sounds, is sometimes the most successful people don't have their degrees.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I agree, boss. Agree.
Because when you get your degree, you become a very good technician, right, to work inside of the system, which obviously we need technicians. Cool. Do you have any real estate experience at all?
Not, to be honest.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. The cool thing about what we're doing is it can be taught, right? Obviously, there will be a little bit of a learning curve, but there's always room to get plugged in, and we have some of the best sales trainers on board with our in-house team, and Alex does a good job at onboarding people. Cool. So, when's the last job that you had?
I'm currently employed for an Australian-based company. It's more on emails.
Okay. What does your day and your schedule look like on that side?
That's 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. my time.
Okay, so that's 6 p.m. our time until 3. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I like it. So you're used to dealing with irate sellers, right? Or irate people that are frustrated with it. When you run into a troublesome situation, how do you step into that and handle it? What's your approach?
Normally first I try to empathize with them because normally they're frustrated not because I am an Asian but because of the situation. So as much as I can, I try to connect with the customer, at least build connection, build some rapport, and then at least I try to be like stand on my ground that, and then also assure them that I could be of help.
That's really good. I like it. Do you have any, aside from the phones and telecommunications, is there any other experience that you have, or skill sets, or things that you feel like you're an expert in?
Before I was also a chat support, so was quite I was multitasking. Whenever we are having short stop for the chat support, I also do that. I also do that. So I also do emailing and such, like following up with tickets, escalated cases and such.
Super. Okay. And you're used to a fast-paced work environment utilizing multiple tools and softwares and technologies?
Yeah, especially with AT&T, when I worked with them, I was using like at least 8 tools at the same time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good stuff. You consider yourself a team player?
Yes,
All right, let's say that you were a part of a sports team. It could be whatever your favorite sport is. What would be your unique role on that team?
maybe let's say for basketball, I could be the coach.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm actually good in bending people and at least instructing them what to do. I'm quite wise in making decisions, so I think that role would suit me well.
Super, super. That's a good answer. I never heard that one before. I've actually never asked that question before, but that was a good answer. Cool. Um, let's say that one of your coworkers did something that you knew was wrong. How would you handle the situation?
First, it depends. At least it's a case-to-case basis. If it doesn't affect the company, I think I would first speak with them, like let them realize what they did was wrong. But if it's something that I think is affecting already the company, then I first raise it with my manager. At
Yeah.
least let them know what happened, and then yeah,
Awesome.
and then sort it out on a close meeting at least.
Okay. Okay. So if we were to bring you on and hire you, do you have any scheduling conflicts, anything that would hinder your availability throughout the week and throughout this summer? Or do you consider yourself pretty wide open as far as your schedule?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty available after my shift with that Australian-based company. I don't have anything to do much with my time.
Cool. All right. Yeah, from what I've picked up is you guys don't sleep that much in the Philippines. Is that true?
Yeah, especially with my first company, for the travel company, which is the Verbo. I've been with them for 1 year and 7 months. At the same time, I was also a full-time student, an
Yeah.
accountancy student. Yeah, I just stopped going to school when the pandemic hit. So yeah,
Yeah, that's what's up.
managing my sleep time.
Cool. Okay. Um, what's your ideal, how many hours ideally would you prefer to work each week?
Per week, at least 40 hours. I could do 40 hours per week.
Okay. Super. All right. Well, I believe that you will be a good candidate. I think the most important part of this job is being able to communicate with people, to relate with them, to listen and emphasize with their problems, their situations. Obviously, real estate, be a little learning curve, but you can pick on and catch on very quickly. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is to engage with people, build trust and rapport, right? So every conversation, every person that we talk to, the goal is to treat that like a relationship that really matters, right? So if we so bring you on, which I do think that you could be a very strong asset for our team, I think the main objective for you is just going to be building great relationships, having quality conversations with every single person that you speak with, and being an active listener, right? Don't feel like you just got to talk and sell yourself. In many cases, people want to be heard, right? So keeping that in mind, we'll go ahead and get you started with training with Alex. He can spend some time showing you the tools that we have on the back end. And I guess you can report to me once your training is finished. Let me know your take, and we can go ahead and get you an account, get you logged on, and start making some calls. Gisela, I do have one last question. What type of CRMs have you worked on and with in the past?
I'm not actually familiar with CRMs. I have been researching regarding that since most of the companies are looking for experience working with CRMs.
Yeah, it's just a
So
it stands for Customer Relationship Management. It's just a tool that we stay in contact with our contacts after the first initial interaction. But yeah.
If I may interrupt us, just to let her understand, I saw you work with Concentrix, right, Gisela? In Concentrix, I know they were using the CRM. The CRM, what we call is actually the database that you're using whenever you're inputting your customers' details and stuff. So what tool do you use for that? Mm-hmm.
And it's like the Salesforce and then the Citrix.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's a
Citrix,
CRM.
Citrix boss. Yes, that's a good CRM. Mm-hmm.
Super. Okay. Well, I'm going to let Alex go ahead and get you onboarded and take it from here. He is your team lead, so he'll be the person that you'll be reporting to whenever you come in. If you guys have any questions at all in the process, just give me a shout. But looking forward to getting you started.
Yeah, thank you. Forward to working with the team as well.
Awesome. Well, welcome on board.
Thank you.
Cool, Alex. I guess you can spend some time getting her trained up. We will have to add an additional dialer. And then we can continue to grow and get her trained up in some different areas as well. And once the CRM build out is complete, the goal is to get all of you guys interacting and operating on that as well.
Right. But I'll send her email address to you so that we can add her as well in Slack.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time today, boss.
Absolutely.
Gisela, yeah, we can just go ahead and continue, and I will train you. Go ahead and train you now.
Awesome.
Perfect.
See you guys soon.
Thank you, boss.
So whenever you're hiring a virtual workforce, it's super important to vet and gauge them in the very early stages. Now, we vertically integrated to the point where Alex, who's my lead virtual assistant, he has the ability to recruit, train, and manage and oversee the team on the backside. So I'm not responsible for doing any of that stuff, right? But in the early stages of this process, your first hire is going to be the most important hire that you make across the board. So in the early stages, when you first put your post out there, you can hire through Fiverr, you can hire through Upwork, but you're gonna go through a ton of different applicants in order to get to the right person, right? Many people might operate to a certain capacity, they might say the right words, but at the end of the day, the skill set and the follow through with tasks is not there. So the first hire is the most important in the entire process of building your virtual back end of your business. So the first hire, when I brought Alex's cousin, Mary, on board, the first thing that you want to do when you bring somebody new in the fold, open up the conversation, and through the process, you want to make sure that they're submitting their resume, past job experience, contacts, and references to past employers. Addition to that, we always require them to complete one task. And what I mean by this is identify a certain task, a small data entry, spreadsheet building, or some type of administrative task that you need done on the back end, and you ask them to do that for you, right? Two sides of this coin. One, when they finish completing this task and they hand over the deliverable, it gives you a piece to the puzzle that you needed done in advance. Addition to that, the integration with the work that needs to be done with the person that's sending you over the information. So we're excluding at least 80% of the applicants at this point because a lot of the people don't want to dive in and actually do the job. Or a lot of them might do it, but they don't do it 100% accurate. So I suggest being super, super specific and making sure they jump through a couple hoops before bringing them on for the first time. At the very end of your post, we're also requesting each candidate to record at least a minute-long video explaining why they should be a good fit for your company. This is also going to exclude 80 to 90% of the applicants as well, because most people aren't going to follow every piece of the instructions and get it done right. We want people that take instruction well and that have attention to details in the application process, because guess what? How you do one thing is how you do everything. And we don't want laziness to be overlooked in our hiring process. Now what we've done is we brought Alex on. We vertically integrated the team and the organization on Alex's back, where I taught Alex everything that I know. I've trained him up. He knows how to use each and every tool on the backside even better than myself, so that whenever we need a new cold caller, lead qualifier, or team recruit in general, he already has the knowledge base to find the right people for that position, right? And he can oversee, he can manage on the back end after we've hired them, trained them, and got that system rolled out. So again, there really is two ways to do this. You can go out there and comb through countless applicants yourself, trying to find the best fit for your team. Or you can find somebody like Alex, who he's got a whole short list of virtual assistants who are already ready to go, set up for interviews, where you can simply bring on a rock star that's already pre-built, that has the tools and the knowledge that you need to plug and play inside of your organization, and then you can vertically integrate and scale on the back end as well. Regardless if we recognize it or not, I believe every entrepreneur, every business owner should have a virtual assistant at some capacity. Why? Because there's always some type of administrative tasks or something that we don't enjoy doing on the back end. And my best suggestion to you, business owner, is to find the things that make you feel like you're dying inside, right? The administrative tasks, the spreadsheets, those things, they rob me of my joy, they steal my energy, they keep me from stepping into my best self. So, energy audit. Draw a line on a paper, top to bottom. On one side, I suggest writing down everything that gives you energy, things that you enjoy doing. On the other side of that, write down things that you hate doing, things that steal your energy and drain you of what you do best. Make a list, and whatever's lying on the side that drains you of your energy, find a way to fire yourself and outsource that and hire somebody else to carry on those tasks day in and day out. That is one of the most powerful ways for you to get on the fast track to scaling your organization. Boom.